What's up, YouTube? It's your boy RussianCarl here, bringing you my Week 6 PAL matchup. This week we went up against Coach Jimmy, or Coach J Money, as it says on the screen, of the Chicago Bewears, and it was a very, very formidable matchup. And you know, some guys on his team really scared the heck out of me as I went over in my team builder. As you notice, I'm not in my basement. My streaming software is duty. It's the same stuff that Hannon's has here at his house, but the fact of the matter is he is directly connected to his internet router while I am not. My dad decided to move the router out of my room to his work area, so now I have shoddy internet connection. So when I record battles, things can get a bit laggy, especially when there's sand and hail and stuff like that flying around the screen. I tried recording this at my house and reached a point in the battle where there was sand everywhere and someone got hit with a move and literally everything just froze for like a good 5 seconds. So this will be my 4th attempt at recording this video. I'm hoping now that I'm doing this at Hannon's place we can get a better look at it. Well, anyway, back to the action. As you can see on the top, I brought my Metagross, Mandibuzz, Gigalith, Magnezone, Stoutland, and Nihilego. Like I said, if you saw my team builder, you will notice that I did not say I was going to bring Stoutland. It was literally a last-minute change that I decided about 5 minutes before, literally 5 minutes before the battle even started. Like, I had just finished eating, and on my way into my room to set up all the streaming stuff, I was like, oh, I don't need Mega Garchomp. Stoutland does everything he does and actually outspeeds things on Jimmy's team. So Stoutland's the way to go, because I didn't really have anything that outsped the Alola Ninetales, and outside of Gigalith being just pain in the butt to it, and Metagross having priority Bullet Punch, I really didn't have a way to deal with Ninetales. Anywho, so yeah, I expected him to bring his Scizor, his Ninetales, his Bulu, his Arcanine, his Starmie, and his Garchomp, which was, again, the main reason why I thought Garchomp in the first place. I decided not to bring Garchomp, and as you can see, he didn't bring his Garchomp or his Arcanine or his Starmie. He decided to bring Jolteon, Bewear, and Cloyster. And it's those things that I think made the difference, because Starmie scared my team. And Arcanine too. Both of them were really powerful mons that I didn't have an answer for. I didn't. Magnezone was my only way to deal with Starmie, pretty much, unless I Choice Scarf Nihilego, which I did not this week. And Arcanine threatened most of my team, except for pretty much Mandibuzz and Garchomp. And even then, Wild Charge does about half my health with Mandibuzz. So it was a lot I was scared of. He decided his best way. He decided the best way for him was Jolteon and Cloyster. I'd be aware to deal with those problems, but whatever. So, yep. Anyway, we're going to head into the battle, and I'll show you guys how it all went down. As you see, I repping Matt Hardy once again, channeling the broken brilliance of the Broken Master himself as I go to delete Jimmy. Anyway, I start with Oz, my Metagross, figuring he was the best lead against anything he could possibly bring out. He brings out the worst case scenario for me, though. Jolteon, Barry Allen. I figured, okay, if he goes for Shadow Ball here, he can't kill me. If he goes for Volt Switch, perfect. Either way, I clicked. I used my Z move, Corkscrew Crash. I turned Meteor Mash in that, so that was high power. He did go for the Volt Switch. As you see, him brings out Kevin the Beware. And this was very good for me, and he claims that this decided the outcome of the match. But I smack this Beware with my full power, max attack, adamant nature, you know, max EVs, max IVs, everything you could think, max on Z move onto this Beware. And it came down to if he was max health, he would live. And by that, look at that, he lived. So he lives. I didn't know. I should have stayed in. I didn't know whether he would have enough speed to outspeed me or whatever. But I should have stayed in. I would have outsped him. I could have hit him with Earthquake and killed him there. Anyway, I switch to Mandibuzz, which actually proves to be okay anyway, because Mandibuzz dodges the Hammer Arm. I go for a foul play, do damage, seeing if maybe it's strong enough I can hurt it. Nope, does not kill it. He does land the Hammer Arm this time, however, and the Rocky Helmet ends up picking up the kill there. So, sorry about that. So the Beware goes down, and it's now 6-5. Manibuzz getting the first kill of the match as usual. Barry Allen comes back out, and this time I'm thinking, he's going to Volt Switch here because he expects me to switch, so I'm going to switch in Oz. That way, if the Volt Switch takes him down, Volt Switch takes him down. If not, I can Bullet Punch whatever comes in. But if the Volt Switch takes me down, that means that he has to throw out a guy, and then I get to make a reaction to it. I get to send out my guy in reaction to what he does. So he sends out Cloyster. I should have set Magnezone out here. This would have guaranteed this kill a lot quicker, and I could have gained momentum as well. However, I do send out Gigalith, figuring in my head, I'm like, oh, if he Shell Smash, all I have to do is click Rock Slide, and he'll smash, I'll kill him, and the sand will take care of him because he runs Sash on it. Anyway, he goes straight for the Icicle Spear out of the gate, figuring it was safer that way. Doesn't want to get hit by the move and instantly knocked out. So he figures, oh, let me get some damage off, and then we'll go from there. He does get a crit on the 4th hit of the first Icicle Spear, so it brings me down to just above half health. I go for the Rock Slide, and I miss. Now, this was a part of the battle where things started lagging at my house, so I'm glad I recorded here. So, okay, whatever. Sand breaks his Sash. He goes for another Icicle Spear, and I believe this brings me down to about 14 HP by the last hit. I don't think he gets any more crits, because if he did, he would have killed me. Yeah, thank gosh for Gigalith's, like, 130 base defense. Like, whew. Yeah, because he brings me to red and then drops me to 14 HP. And that's going to prove crucial later on. Anyway, this Rock Slide hits, and I was like, oh, man, that is fantastic. Anyway, so the Rock Slide hits. Sadly, though, without him Shell Smashing, Rock Slide does not do enough to secure the kill in Sand. And that's after 2 turns of Sand, he's already taken damage. So that was saddening. I bring him in because I'm like, I need Gigalith. I need Gigalith live. For some reason, though, he goes for the Ice Shard. Manibuzz, being physically bulky, eats that up. He takes another turn of Sand damage. This proves crucial. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do here. He's going to Icicle Spear me, so I roost. But he goes for another Ice Shard, which confused me, because I'm like, you outspeed me. Why would you do that? Anyway, I live the second Ice Shard, and I roost all the way back up to the health I pretty much had before the Ice Shards hit me, and the Sand takes him out. So now it's an even game again, I believe. Actually, no, it's I have the lead again at 5v4. So he brings out Elsa, the Alolan Ninetales, and gets rid of my Sand. Now, at this point, I'm like, okay, well, my only real move here is I got to bring out the 14-health Gigalith. If he kills Gigalith here, that's that, but at least I get rid of the snow for now. I can't risk an Aurora Veil, though. So I bring Gigalith, and I set up the Sand once again, and he decides, I predicted right, he went for an Aurora Veil, but it fails because no hail. He does take Chip Jam instead as well. I didn't know if he was going to run Sash on this as well, because this is also a potential Sash thing to guarantee the Aurora Veil. He goes for the Freeze Dry. I should have switched out there into, say, Magnezone, because Magnezone would have loved to take a Freeze Dry. But I die, and that was my part, so now I didn't really have a switch in case it wanted to leave. However, this does give Professor Port a chance to come out, and he is running Retaliate at max attack with Sand Rush. So he has a super high power, 140 base power, stab, physical move, plus Life Orb. So I'm like, okay, the only thing that wants to take this is Scizor. He brings out Bulu, however. So I hit the Retaliate, and it's just bulky enough to live. And I'm like, really? But proves to be, doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter because I outspeed this thing. He put enough bulk into it, no matter what, I outspeed this thing because I'm a higher base speed, I'm max speed, and I'm in the sand, so my speed is doubled. There was no way he was outspeeding me. And the grassy terrain actually helps here because it's mitigating some of my Life Orb damage. So I'm actually getting more survivability out of Stoutland with this. Anyway, I go for the Fire Fang, figuring, yeah, let me just get the hit there. Hindsight, I should have just clicked Retaliate again because it was guaranteed to kill, and Fire Fang does have that chance to miss. So that was risky on my part. Anyway, Elsa comes back in, gets rid of my Sand, puts up the Hail. Stoutland's now slow, and I'm like, okay, he's going to go for a Veil here, but my only play is pretty much clicking Fire Fang. He goes for the Blizzard. He had the perfect opportunity there. This was late game. Some of my big heavy hitters were gone, and he had the opportunity to kill me. Not kill me, but protect his team right there, because after Royvale, I couldn't do that. It would have taken 2 hits for Professor Port to even be able to do that, and then he could have blizzarded me then, outspeeding me. But he chose to just go straight for the Blizzard, and that cost him the match, pretty much. Because now he has nothing to defend himself. He's down to Barry Allen, the Jolteon, and his Scizor, which has his Mega Scizor, which hadn't even hit the field yet. But Jolteon comes out, thunderbolts my Stoutland, and I decide to sack him off so I could get a clean switch into Nihilego. I kind of switched him out, looking at it, but I'm like, you know what? I'll stay here in case he Volt switches. That way I get, I get the whatever again. Anyway, so Barry Allen leaves being locked in Thunderbolt because he was Choice Specs, as it turns out. Scared by my Nihilego. Also, predicting me to go Sludge Wave, but I went Power Gem considering I'm Choice Specs, so the damage is going to be great. And this actually hits the Scizor neutrally, while everything else I had hit was either immune to or not very effective. So that did massive damage to the Scizor, so it allowed me to see that he wasn't running a bulky build, which was interesting to see. I guess he was preparing to take out Magnezone pretty well. But anyway, I figured his play there was either he was going to Bullet Punch trying to kill Nihilego, fearing more damage, or he was going to Roost, predicting a switch. He decided to go straight for the Bullet Punch. As you'll see, he Megas and goes straight for the Bullet Punch, meaning he wanted to get Nihilego out of there, fearing that I was going to stay in and kill him. But the Bullet Punch literally does nothing to Bill Nye the Science Magnezone due to being 4 times resistant. So Magnezone pretty much gets a free switch in. Now my Magnezone, I spec'd it, I made it just enough speed EV so that after being given a Choice Scarf, it outspeeds Adamant Max Speed Scizor. And that proved to be the case. I talked to him afterwards. He did run an Adamant Max Speed Scizor, and I was so happy to hear that. But so I outsped him, and I hit him with that Him Power Fire. And he was dead. Locked into him Power Fire, though. I'm like, let me just see. Jolteon can't OHKO me with anything. I'm just going to see how much damage a Him Power Fire does. He just knocked me to just below half with a Shadow Ball. And now he's locked into Shadow Ball, and I hit him with that Him Power Fire and do pretty much a quarter. I'm like, that ain't doing it. So I switched into Mandy, and we're going to have a little bit of a boring part of the match to finish off. I was preserving differential, also teasing him a bit because we're such good friends. So, anyway, he hits a Shadow Ball, not very effective. Mana Buzz eats it up, even without any special defenseman investment. However, he does get the special defense drops. But I'm like, I can just roost this off. If anything, I roost him until... If anything, I can just sit here and roost until he's out of Shadow Balls. But I'm like, no, I'm at good health, so I'm going to click Foul Play. So he goes for another Shadow Ball, being locked into it, like I said. He hits me, drops me to just above half. I launch off the Foul Play. I'm like, I'm curious how much damage this is going to do, because Jolteon's not a physical attacker, but does about 35%. So I'm like, that's pretty good. He hits me with another Shadow Ball, and I'm like, I'm just going to roost here. He goes, why not? He gets another special defense drop. So at this point, I think I'm at -2. My special defense has been halved. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to be very careful with my roosting and my foul playing from here on. I might lose Mana Buzz just because of all these special defense drops. So he's just going to keep clicking Shadow Ball. Drops me down to half. I roost because I'm like, let me just make sure that I can live 2 of these in a row. Puts me just below full HP. And he goes for another Shadow Ball. I think this one gives me another special defense drop as well, which was kind of worrisome. No, it did not. Okay, so I didn't remember that right. But anyway, I hit the foul play. He did just shy of killing it. I'm like, this match just got to end. He didn't want to forfeit. He just kept clicking Shadow Ball. So he hits that. Yep. Knocks me down 72 HP. I hit the foul play. Mana Buzz picking up another kill for the match. And that is it. We have beaten the Chicago Bewears 3-0. Coach Jimmy has been deleted, as the Broken Master Matt Hardy would say. So that was that. Next week, we're going... who are we fighting next week? Next week, we're fighting Coach Rudy and the Pittsburgh Piplups. Should be an interesting matchup. Last time I fought him, we fought to a standstill. Yes, it wasn't my PAL team, but last time I fought him, we fought to a standstill, running the clock. Hour-long match. Like, oh, boy. Luckily, if something like happens again, I'm going to have to do post-com. I am going to be out of town next weekend. Going to be in New York City watching WrestleMania with Coach Jimmy as well as Coach Brendan of your Manhattan Slow Bros. So I won't be doing live com for that battle as well, sadly. hoping I can find a solution to make it so I'll have a better time of recording my matches. Recording my matches come, anytime in the future, in the next 2 weeks or so. Also, due to the fact that playoffs will be coming up for the PAL June 3rd. It's a Saturday. Be there or be square. And we usually do it at my place, but because it's the biggest place. But with the shoddy internet the way it is, I gotta figure out a way to fix it or find somewhere else to hold this extravaganza of Pokemon. But anyway, so that concludes this matchup for the week. We now walk away week 6 with a 5-0 record, still undefeated. And we have, I believe, a plus 18 differential after beating Jimmy 3-0. So, you know what, guys? If you enjoyed this battle, please leave a like down below. And, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button as well. Support is greatly appreciated. And you know what? I'm going to head out of here. So you guys have a nice day. I'm RussianCarl. See ya.